be better than him that night. 36 minutes, I gotta be better than him.
I got my tool bag and I went to work.
Tough for Tank. I feel like Lamont is going to show us who Lamont is.
Gervonta Davis reacts confidently to Lamont Roach's new training footage, unfazed by his opponent's preparation. While many expect him to secure another knockout victory, Davis himself isn't overly concerned about the fight's outcome in terms of rounds or stoppages. Instead, he prioritizes putting on a great show for the fans and ensuring that everyone in attendance and watching from home is entertained. Davis acknowledges that knockouts are exciting and can elevate a fighter's reputation, but for him, it's more about showcasing his skills in the ring. If the knockout comes, it's just an added bonus. His goal is to control the fight, dominate his opponent, and prove once again why he is considered one of the most dangerous fighters in the sport.
I don't really know about the rounds. Like me, I just want to put on a great show. You know what I mean? Once I put on a great performance, I feel as though I'm good. I don't care about if I get the knockout or not. But if I get the knockout, it's lit. I'm just here to put on a great show. Make sure it's a great event. Come March the 1st, make sure everybody in the building is satisfied.
One of the biggest misconceptions about Davis, according to him, is that people only see him as a power puncher. While his knockout record speaks for itself, he believes his overall boxing skills are underrated. He points out that his footwork, hand speed, and especially his punch placement are key factors in his success. Many opponents make the mistake of thinking his power alone is what wins him fights, but it's actually his precision and ability to land clean, accurate shots that make him so dangerous. Davis knows that boxing is a game of adjustments, and for 36 minutes, he just has to be better than Roach. He trusts in his preparation and ability to adapt in the ring, and he encourages fans to tune in on fight night to see his skills on full display. Whether it ends in a knockout or a dominant decision, Davis is determined to make a statement.
I think everything is underrated. I don't think people really believe I have good skills. I think they believe I have power. But I would say my footwork. Yeah, I got pretty decent footwork. My hand speed too. No, my placement of my punching. That's what people sleep on. They think it's just power, but it's accuracy. For real. What it's gonna take, just be better than him that night. 36 minutes, I gotta be better than him. Only 36 minutes. Watch my fight against Lamont Roach on pbv.com.
Lamont Roach's road to facing Gervonta "Tank" Davis has been one of resilience, hard work, and redemption. His journey is defined by setbacks that have only made him stronger, preparing him for the biggest fight of his career. At one point, Roach suffered a devastating loss that left him mentally and emotionally drained. It was a defining moment, one that tested his spirit as a fighter. Walking back to the locker room after that defeat, he felt the weight of disappointment. But his team reminded him that losses don't define careers. How a fighter responds to them does. Instead of letting that moment break him, Roach used it as motivation.
Let me down, you know what I'm saying? We fail as a team. And it ain't going to define us or stop our journey, you know what I'm saying? We will get back here, and next time we will win it.
After I got up off my ass and was like, all right, this ain't where you supposed to be. Let's go show them. Let's go show them where you supposed to be at. I got my tool bag and I went to work.
It wasn't a loss, it was a lesson. It was a big lesson that we learned and took from it and made him a much better fighter.
Determined to prove he belonged among the best, he put in years of relentless training. He treated the loss not as a failure, but as a lesson that would shape him into a better boxer. After 4 years of grinding, Roach earned another shot at a world title, this time against Hector Luis Garcia. Once again, he was the underdog, with many doubting his ability to win. But Roach silenced his critics, capturing the WBA junior lightweight title in one of the proudest moments of his life. The feeling of redemption was overwhelming. He had worked for this, put everything on the line, and finally reached the top. Now, as he prepares to face Gervonta Davis, Roach is embracing the challenge. He acknowledges Tank's incredible power, speed, and agility, but he refuses to be intimidated. He believes he possesses those same attributes and is ready to prove it in the ring. Roach is fully locked in, prepared to shock the world on March 1st and take out one of the most feared fighters in boxing.
Oh.
Tank is a tremendous fighter. Tank has tremendous power. Tank has tremendous speed, agility, whatever the case may be. But little do everyone knows that I do too.
Let them keep talking. Just let them keep talking, man. We working. World champion for a reason.
They gonna see. I don't give a fuck about what y'all gotta say. That's why I'm here, right here, in this position right now. That's why I'm going to be on top of the boxing world. That's why I'm gonna spoil whatever y'all think gonna happen March 1st.
Trainer Greg Hackett has cautioned Gervonta Davis ahead of his fight with Lamont Roach, stressing that this won't be an easy matchup. While Davis is the clear favorite, Hackett believes Roach has the tools to make the fight competitive, especially in the early and middle rounds. Hackett predicts that Roach will be tough for Tank, particularly in the first half of the fight. He expects Roach to be smart in his approach, using his tight defensive style to avoid Tank's knockout shots. Unlike some of Tank's previous opponents, Roach may be willing to trade punches in close exchanges while maintaining a defensive posture. This could create moments where Roach lands quick hooks or uppercuts when Tank opens up for a big shot.
Lamont's still gonna be tough. Tough for Tank. I feel like Lamont is gonna show us who Lamont is, but it's gonna unfold later in the fight, like around between 8 to 10. And I think Lamont get hurt to the body, and then Tank finish up top and stop him like in the 10th round. I think that because I think Lamont is crazy enough to trade with Tank. I think he's smart enough to be in there with him, and his style is more, more suited for a Tank because it's a tight style. Here's the thing. Here's what I'm saying. I gotta stand up. Tank, if you watch Tank, right? Tank make them little short movements and make a little explosive move where he might pull something, right, for a quick second.
Hackett believes the fight will start with both fighters having success, possibly going back and forth for the first 6 rounds. However, as the fight progresses into the later rounds, Tank's power and experience will begin to take over. Hackett foresees Tank hurting Roach to the body around the 8th or 9th round, setting up a stoppage in the 10th. One key factor Hackett highlights is the moment itself. Roach has fought in big fights before, but this is different. Facing a superstar like Tank under the brightest lights brings a level of pressure he has never experienced. While Roach may handle it well initially, the relentless nature of a fight against Tank could become overwhelming as the rounds go on. Ultimately, Hackett respects Roach's abilities but believes Tank's power, experience, and ability to adapt will lead him to victory. However, he warns that Tank must be careful early, as Roach has the skills to make things difficult before Davis takes control.
Trying to dump a big shot. This I'm talking about the knockout punches. Lamont style is here. It's a tighter style. When Tank go to open up, I think Lamont can land little hooks, little right uppercuts, little shit like that. That'll make it a good fight. So, with that being said, Tank gonna have to be careful. But I think it's gonna make Tank smarter because he got to go in there and use the skills. I see them going back and forth for about 6 rounds. And then, you know what I mean? I think Tank could start taking over a little bit. But then hurt him, like I said, with a body shot in the 8th, 9th, stop him in the 10th. I just think it'll go that way. I have no disrespect to Lamont. I like Lamont. But I just think the moment, I think the pressure, I think all of that on top, man, is just, it's going to be a little bit too much. Not too much like he can't handle it, but we got to be honest, he's never been here. He's been there. He's been there in title fights. He's never been here. It's a little different. It's a little different. You know what I mean?
The criticism that this fight has faced since the rumor started and then since the announcement.
Tank Davis is focused on delivering a great performance against Lamont Roach rather than worrying about how the fight ends. While many expect him to secure another knockout, Davis isn't overly concerned about whether he finishes the fight early or wins by decision. His main priority is putting on a show for the fans and making sure the event is exciting for everyone watching. He acknowledges that knockouts are thrilling, but for him, the most important thing is showcasing his full skill set. People often talk about his power, but he believes his overall boxing ability is underrated. His footwork, hand speed, and precision are just as important as his knockout ability. He knows that being accurate with his punches is what truly makes him dangerous, not just his strength.
People have been talking about, Tank saying that he wants to retire, get himself mentally right. I mean, what went through your mind when you heard that? Because, some people can say, oh, if you win, it's an excuse. He wasn't right in the head or whatever. And at the end of the day, I mean, they might try to discredit you. Is that a concern for you, or is just, just
Hell
business?
nah.
You're gonna show it off anyway?
Hell no, it ain't it ain't no concern for me. Shit, I'm doing what I got to do. I don't care. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we're preparing for the best Tank
You have to.
that there is. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we have to. So, and if we don't, then we'll be doing ourselves. I'll be doing myself a disservice. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't care what I don't. That's what I'm saying. That's the thing. I don't care what anybody else say.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, it's me and him in the ring. It's me and him competing against each other. So whether you know what I'm saying, if I'm the best man that night, I'm gonna be the best man that night. Or no excuses. Nothing else. So yeah, for sure. And then as far as him making those remarks, he might really do feel that way though. You know what I'm saying? Like, people look at boxers and forget that we real people, like regular people.
Davis also understands that boxing is about adjustments. For the 12 rounds he is in the ring, his only focus is being better than Roach in every aspect of the fight. He trusts his training, experience, and ability to adapt, which gives him confidence that he will come out victorious. No matter how the fight plays out, Davis is determined to make a statement. Whether it ends in a knockout or a dominant decision, he wants to remind everyone why he is one of the best in the sport. Fans can expect an explosive and entertaining fight as he steps into the ring with the goal of proving his greatness once again.
That's it. Especially the ones who don't know shit about boxing. It's okay. Like, other than that, it is what it is. Like, and that's 99% of them. Like, I'm okay with people giving their boxing opinion or whatever the case may be, but then it's just like, all right, he's this, he's that, he's gonna whatever. Like, all right, we'll see.
Yeah, at the end of the day, I mean, you show it in the ring, and that's the easiest way to shut them all out and shut them down, is having you succeed.
Yeah, for sure.
Lamont Roach exudes confidence as he speaks about his place in the boxing world. He makes it clear that stepping into big fights and facing elite opponents is nothing new for him. While some may see the magnitude of fighting Gervonta Davis as intimidating, Roach insists that for him, it feels natural. He believes he is exactly where he is meant to be. He reflects on his journey, emphasizing that he has always competed among the best. From the time he became a national champion as a young fighter, he has consistently faced top-tier competition. His experience spans multiple age groups, from his early days in amateur boxing to competing at the international level. He points out that even as a teenager, he was already taking on grown men in the ring. Roach's time with Team USA and his achievements in international competitions solidified his confidence. He has proven himself on different stages and believes that transitioning into the professional ranks is a natural step. His signing with Golden Boy Promotions straight out of the amateurs was a testament to his skill and potential. Unlike many fighters who have to build themselves up through local promotions, Roach was immediately recognized as a top talent. His words reflect his belief that this is his moment, not just in this fight but in his entire career. He isn't looking at this as a rare opportunity. He sees it as another step in the path he was always meant to take. Roach is not overwhelmed by the spotlight. He embraces it. He believes he has worked his whole life for this fight, and he's ready to prove he belongs among the best.
It ain't intimidating. It ain't. I'm here. This where I'm supposed. Like I said, this is where I'm supposed to be at. This is my time. This is my moment. Whatever it can be, and that's every time, not just now, but every time. So I'm used to it. Like I said, I've been at this since I was 9. I've always been amongst the best. Since I've been a national champion my first time, I've always been amongst the best. Always been a national champion. 11 and 12. We got age groups, 11 and 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Open, men's division. When as a youngin', like 17, I was being grown men, 17, washing them. I was on the USA team, international, medal international. I've been that. Professional, got signed to Golden Boy, straight out the professionals. No dissing to no local fighters or none of that, no local promoters, none of that. But I got signed to one of the best promotional companies as soon as I turned pro at 18.
Lamont Roach takes pride in his journey as a professional boxer. From the moment he turned pro at 18, unlike many fighters who take years to break into big events, Roach was immediately placed on some of the sport's biggest stages. He believes this early exposure to high-level boxing has helped groom him for the moment he is in now. With 20 years in the sport, Roach has built an impressive record, with only 1 draw and 1 loss. He acknowledges that losses are becoming more common in boxing today, as fighters are being matched up in tougher bouts. He contrasts this with the past, where many boxers were obsessed with protecting an undefeated record. The shift in the sport, fueled by social media and public demand, is pushing top fighters to take on bigger challenges, rather than avoiding difficult matchups to maintain a perfect record. Roach also notes that modern boxing is no longer about simply fighting random opponents to build experience. The sport has evolved, with fans and promoters demanding high-stakes matchups between the best fighters. As a result, boxers are forced to step up and prove themselves against elite competition earlier in their careers. For Roach, this environment is nothing new. He has always been willing to fight top talent, and he believes his journey has prepared him for this moment. Now, as he faces Gervonta Davis, he sees it as another test in his career, one that he is more than ready for.
I was fighting on big cards, Bernard Hopkins, Triple G, David Lemieux, Canelo, all that. I've been groomed to be right here.
And it's 20 years.
20 years.
20 years, and we got 1 draw and 1 loss on the record. It seems that it's becoming more and more common because I feel as though all these boxers are desperately trying to hold that 0.
Yeah.
But now the world, with social media and everything involved, and people getting more involved in boxing day by day, it seems like they're forcing the fights that are saying, well, you're going to go up against this guy. It's not it's not just fighting just some random boxer anymore. So now you have that 1 loss on your record. Did that bother you? Does it bother you when you think about it, thinking like, damn, I got 1?
No, it don't bother me now. It bothered me when it happened.
Stephen A. Smith recently analyzed Gervonta Tank Davis's skill set, highlighting why he is one of the most dangerous fighters in boxing. According to Smith, one of Tank's greatest strengths is his precision. Davis isn't just a power puncher. He knows exactly where to land his shots to maximize damage. His ability to place punches perfectly, whether to the body or head, is what makes him such an efficient knockout artist. Smith pointed out that Tank doesn't waste punches. He stays in position, reads his opponents carefully, and delivers devastating blows when the opportunity arises. His knockout power isn't just about brute force. It's about timing, accuracy, and knowing how to break down his opponents. This ability has allowed him to consistently stop elite fighters, even those with strong defensive skills.
Gervonta's a smart dude, bro, and he said you really should have waited.
No, you should have waited. You should have waited for a little bit more time. You stuck your head out there a little too soon.
And he was right. He was absolutely positively right.
Oh, left uppercut.
And so now here we are, him fighting this cat Roach, and I'm like, isn't this dude like junior lightweight?
Super featherweight, moving up to lightweight.
Yeah. No.
Another concern Smith raised was Lamont Roach moving up in weight to face Davis. Roach has spent most of his career at junior lightweight and is now stepping up to lightweight to challenge Tank. While 5 pounds may not seem like much, in boxing, it can make a major difference, especially against a fighter as powerful as Davis. Smith questioned whether Roach's body could handle the additional size and strength of opponents at this weight class. He expressed concern that Roach might struggle to absorb Tank's power. Davis has knocked out full-fledged lightweights and even fighters who have competed at 140 pounds, making Roach's move up even riskier. While Roach is talented, Smith believes this weight disparity could be a serious disadvantage. Ultimately, Smith acknowledges Roach's skills, but remains skeptical about how he will handle the challenge of facing a proven knockout artist like Davis at a higher weight.
That bothers me. The reason why that bothers me is because Gervonta is too great and too skilled to be fighting dudes smaller than him. Gervonta Davis could knock out welterweights. He probably could knock out a couple of middleweights. Why are you fighting somebody smaller? Only time I approve great champions fighting smaller guys is when you're not known for your power. You're basically using your superior skill set and showing against a smaller, quicker guy that skills don't dissipate.
That's it for today's video. Stay tuned until next time.